Hi guys! So we are going to review The Grinch that just played live on NBC.
So Matthew Morrison, we're gonna start with him.
Yeah.
I give it to him for like really going full out. I mean, if anybody did a full out performance, it was him.
Like he was on a different level. Which is crazy because, and I know that I've had problems with this in the past, but now that I'm older, I feel like I've realized it when I'm watching stuff, and obviously I love to critique, and so, yeah, I it's a curse, really, because I critique everything, and sometimes I just have to be like, take a step back and just like watch. But I will say, Matthew Morrison gave so much, and the rest of the cast was just, not that they were bad by any means, but they just had a different performance level.
They had a different energy. They had a different, I feel like, entire concept of the show.
Exactly. And so it didn't it clashed. It didn't mesh. Like, it didn't work well together. He said that it was inspired, he did The Grinch inspired off of Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker. Okay, cool. If the rest of the cast was on that level, but they were not. They were like trying to have a good old fun time, as a children's show.
Time, yeah.
And so
it just felt a little much.
Yeah. He broke the fourth wall a lot. Which didn't work in my opinion.
It didn't work in my opinion either. I knew what they were trying to do, but to me it just didn't really read that much.
Maybe if there was
a live
audience, maybe, but it just didn't work. A lot of people felt uncomfortable because I looked up, I was like, I gotta know what other people think. So I looked up social media remarks. So I'm just gonna read you a few. So the positives, because it definitely had mixed reviews. Positives, some people said, thank you for a great performance and making 2020 a little bit better. Great performance. Merry Christmas. You deserve a Tony for saving 2020. But so those are like big statements. Like, to say that was the best thing you saw in 2020, you must really love The Grinch, or you must really love Matthew Morrison, or you must really be
maybe you
attached.
just really truly did love his take on The Grinch. I didn't,
exactly.
Once again, I didn't hate his take on The Grinch.
I just didn't think it meshed.
I didn't think it meshed. Like, if we were doing like a weird, spooky, like adult version of The Grinch or something,
I would have
been totally into it. Yeah. But this version just didn't work for me.
I agree. Now for the social media remarks that were negative. Oh my God, these got me rolling. Somebody said, that was horrific. My children had nightmares last night. That didn't even look like The Grinch. Someone said, this was cringing to watch Matthew Morrison play The Grinch, too serious and had no humor in his character. Somebody said, Matthew Morrison in The Grinch musical looks like a cast member from Cats died, molded, and came back to life. And then somebody said, I need to see a therapist. We are in 2020 hell, so this bizarre sexualized representation
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too much. So that was our opinion about Matthew Morrison. Please let us know what yours was.
Totally.
But next we have to talk about this awful narrator.
Okay. This is crazy. So Dennis O'Hare played the narrator. And it's insane to me that it's the same actor that played Russell in True Blood and Liz Taylor in American Horror Story. Like, I would have never thought. I mean, first of all, I couldn't even tell it was Dennis O'Hare because he had like the weird old dog face on, which I didn't like his costume at all. I didn't think there should be an old Max. My question to you was, okay, so what was up with the narrator? How should they have done a narrator?
This is what I think. I hate when people have narrators. I think it is a cop-out. I think it is lazy. But I will give it the benefit of the doubt because it is a children's show. And I know a lot of times in children's shows, it's very easy to be like, okay, and we're set up as a storybook. And they did. They set it up as a storybook. They had, between the commercials, they had the pop-up book. So I get what they're trying to do. Okay, have a narrator. But why in hell would you have Max be the narrator? Cindy Lou Who was barely part of this show. Isn't The Grinch about Cindy Lou Who and like how she sort of saves the day because she accepts Grinch into her life, and then the Grinch opens up because of that? We barely saw Cindy Lou Who.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure with with who played the Grinch? Oh my God, Jim Carrey. In the movie, I'm pretty sure that's how it was. I'm not really sure about the actual Dr. Seuss book. I would have to read it. But whether you've read the book or not, it was atrocious to have old Max as the narrator. It was not good. It was awkward, raggedy. It didn't seem like he was playing an old dog. It felt like he was an old dog that couldn't keep up. Yeah. And I hate to say that, but it just didn't feel right. At one point, there was old Max, the Max that played like Boo Stewart that played the normal Max during the show, and then there was a young Max, and they were all three on stage at one point. And to me, it was way too much. Even though the little Max dancing was cute.
Little Max dancing was really cute, and there, and even old Max, not old Max, but during the story Max or whatever. I thought he was pretty talented, but I just felt like, once again, I felt like this was targeted towards children, and having all of those Maxes all over the stage was a little confusing for me even. So I'm like, how is a child supposed to follow this?
Exactly. And I think just the script in general for the narrator seemed awkward and weird. So I'm sorry, Dennis O'Hare, you have been brilliant in other things, but
this was not your time.
This wasn't it. And I think it was just a mixture of
bad writing.
The
script was not that good.
Yeah. Cindy Lou Who was played by Amelia Minto. This was her first role ever. She's actually going to play Wendy in an upcoming Peter Pan adaptation called The Lost Girl. So I'm really interested to see more of her, because I don't feel like she was showcased that much. And once again, the script just seemed, I don't know, something was missing with her character, I feel like. Yeah. Like I wanted to see more of her, and I didn't get that.
And a side note, Where Are You Christmas?
Yeah. They started in the middle of the song.
They started in the middle of the song. They only did 30 seconds of it. And Cindy didn't even sing it. It was the mom, which, okay, if you're going to have the mom sing it, you're going to have it be a big chorale or whatever. But you wouldn't sing that entire song?
It's a beautiful song.
That's a classic. You're not going to sing that entire song?
Exactly. So I'm excited to see her in something else and see what she can do. We kind of already talked about young Max, played by Boo Stewart. He plays Seth in the Twilight series. And he plays Jay in The Descendants.
Oh, I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, and he plays Warpath. I've never seen X-Men, but he plays Warpath in X-Men Days of Future Past, if that means anything to anybody, if you're trying to reference him. I thought he did a good job as the dog. Yeah. But once again, his counterpart that he was acting with was Matthew Morrison, and he was being a cute little dog, and he had moments. He had good moments of the in-between where he was acting like a dog, and I think he did a good job, but it didn't mesh with Matthew Morrison. Yeah. Costumes were great.
Loved the costumes. I loved the color palette. I will say that color palette had me going. I just felt like every single individual piece was perfect. Yeah. So, good job to the costumes. You guys nailed it.
Yeah, and set.
And set, obviously. Yeah. The set was amazing when they were going on the sleigh, down to Whoville, really and the snow. I really felt like I was going through the sleigh with them.
Yeah, that was super fun.
The set was cool. The costumes were cool.
Yeah, Where Are You Christmas got cut short. I felt like the music in the beginning seemed so filler to me. I didn't recognize an actual song until One of a Kind. Remember? And we were just oh, this is the first song that feels like it has an actual melody. Mm-hmm. Everything else just seemed like filler songs that you kind of transition songs. It didn't feel like a song. And then the next song, Where Are You Christmas, they cut short, which just blows my mind still.
If you were gonna do that, don't even put the song in there.
Here's my last question. Mm-hmm. How would you rate it? Okay, would you rate it fail, just okay, below average, above average, or excellent?
What's right above fail?
Just okay.
I mean, it was just okay. It actually was pretty hard for me. There was a lot of times where I was it's not even worth it to watch it, but I kept watching it because we wanted to do a review. Yeah. So I was I gotta watch it if I'm gonna review it. But it was a little tough to get through. It was a little cringeworthy.
Yeah, it was kind of cringy.
Yeah.
An NBC poll said 32% of people said it failed, 26% of people just okay, 15% below average, 14% above average, and 11% said excellent. So, everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different. We're not saying we are right. Like, this is just how
this is our
we
opinion,
feel.
and we would love to know how you guys feel about it.
So definitely write in the comments below. Let us know if you watched it, if you had a good time, and let us see your perspective, because we tend to get, we like critiquing, and then sometimes we need to take ourselves out of it and realize, like, okay, all these other people saw this differently, and
than we did.
We want to hear those ideas too. So until our next review, we'll see you later.
Bye.